All right, guys, here we are to talk about Season 2, Episode 4 of The Twilight Zone. This episode is wrought with errors and almost doesn't make sense.
Oh, I would say it 100% doesn't make sense. I'm kind of like... so I, due to a scheduling snafu, I watched this like an entire week early, and I've had a whole week where I've just walked around. I'll be driving in my car, I'll be taking a shower, I'll be eating something, and I'll be like, why did the razor fly around? That ruined everything. That alone ruined everything. Like, there were so many other problems, but that was so, like, why?
The razor is an electric razor. The electric razor is one of the biggest problems with the whole thing. Because, A, it's like the Final Destination thing where it's like, well, if death can just do whatever it wants, why does it even... So,
right,
like,
if it just wraps the thing around your neck.
It is a razor, electric razor with a cord, of course, because they didn't have cordless then, I don't think. At least not for well, he was rich, but no. Regardless,
maybe a gas powered.
It's like a fucking snake where it's just hovering.
It should be hanging out. It should be hanging out with the brave little toaster.
It's on, not plugged in.
Okay.
So already it's magic. If all the devices came alive and could do the full extent of what they can do, that's one thing. But this is like it's just magic. So aside from the fact that they can turn themselves on, don't need power, and can float. No issues, I guess. Okay. And then when it's coming down the stairs, it's chasing him, but it's not floating because A, they couldn't film that, and B, you can see the fucking string pulling it down the stairs.
Really?
Oh my god, it was brutal. I was like a tug, wiggle, wiggle, a tug, a wiggle, wiggle. You could watch the goddamn fishing line.
I never mind like the obvious edges of the production type thing.
I mind things when they would easily be fixable. So if they would have just put like a rigid wire inside the tubing of the bottom of that wire, you could have just moved it from anywhere and it would have just moved.
Okay.
And this is like the Twilight Zone. They have money. They paint whole backgrounds. How long do you think that takes? They can't run a fucking wire?
Paint already exists.
God damn it.
My problems are when you could have just not done something where someone was like,
we're
gonna have the razor like be like a cobra ready to strike, and they'd be like, why, what is the? Because I feel like so many episodes have like a point to them, and they have like a thing going on, and it's often, again, I say this every time now because these have all been bad like in a row, where it's like, oh, the humans are selfish and greedy, and they make choices, and then they catch up with them only we're in space, right? Like something like
what was even the point of this episode?
No, that's what I'm getting at. Like there's nothing even here. I don't know how this gets lumped in with all the rest of the episodes.
So, like,
what is this supposed to teach me?
The plot of this episode is there's a man who hates machines, and you find out he hates machines because they're ruining his life, like, on purpose. And then they're like, well, is it in his head or not? Well, I don't know, but they are physically doing things they can't do regardless.
Yeah.
And then ultimately, like, they want him to leave his house.
With no explanation of why.
Yeah, it's not like it's buried on a toaster's burial ground. Like, he didn't seemingly like assault machines or like make machines that killed people and they feel regret for this. Like, there's no reason why the machines hate him or why they want him to leave.
Right.
Why, doesn't he just leave?
Yeah.
Or B, get rid of all the machines in the house. If you can't use them anyway and they're only ruining your life, get them the hell out of there.
Right. It's not like he works somewhere and the machines come alive at night and no one believes it. Like, there's no angle. And, like, no, it's absolutely insane. Like you're saying, it's just, like in the beginning, it opens up, and he's like, oh, I talk like a Shakespearean actor, and all these fucking things. And like, oh, this repairman, so what larceny will you visit upon me right now?
It says larceny too many times.
Yeah, it's good. It's a fancy word stuff.
I'm wondering if it was in the script once, and he said it twice, and like, they're like, oh, I used it and put it in the wrong parts.
Saying it.
Fuck it, just put it in.
That's the only take we have. Keep rolling. Film's expensive. But like, as they like peel back the layers, right? Well, he's this uptight, crazy person, and the repairman's like, "You threw this down the stairs," and he's like, "I threw it down the stairs because it like no longer amused me."
It was not working properly. It was nothing but static.
All of these machines, it would turn on in the middle of the night. You must believe me. And this is crazy. And then like later when he like breaks down a little when that secretary's trying to leave, and he's like, "No, I need you to stay. No, let's understand." Even that had a little something to it, and I was like, "Ooh, this is interesting." But then it all crescendos in this pile of shit where you're just like, what is happening?
So then it's like, I don't even understand if you look at the monologue, it was like, born either too early or too late in the century, blah, da, 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 da. Like, but he seemingly wants these electronic devices around. If he broke them the first time and didn't repair them, they wouldn't be able to torture him anymore. I don't understand, like, the man just like glutton for punishment.
And the clock starts dinging even though it's gone or something. So there were signs pointing me towards he's crazy. But then
but there's a thing where it's like it's kind of like the bad actor or guilty thing.
Yes.
Where I'm like, I don't know, was it completely broken or did they just add the effect in late?
Yeah, I don't.
Because maybe they don't understand what part of the clock makes the noise.
And they think it's like still there somehow.
Yeah.
I feel like the point of it might have been that he was crazy, and they're all like, but even then, right at the end, it's like, yeah, he wasn't floating though, wasn't that weird? And they're like, what is that supposed to be?
What was that
what
supposed to
doing
mean?
Here? And I feel
the car wasn't there anymore.
Yeah.
So like.
Right, so like
either it did drive or it was never there.
Well, because like as the ending continues to unfold, I'm like, is there going to be like water dripping off of the car? Are you going to be like implying that like the car held him down? Like what are we doing here?
Yeah.
But then just nothing happens. They just drive off with his corpse, and I'm kind of like, I don't know where this was. I don't know why this is here. I'm a little self-conscious sometimes, where I'm like, am I missing something obvious here about how this was meant to be like interpreted?
Was that the town pool? Was that his pool?
What?
Why were there piles of boxes all over the road?
And there were all those people there. Yeah. There were piles of boxes outside because as a rich man, he has to be getting shipments of empty boxes constantly because that's how rich people live. And he has his own pool, but it's like down where a bunch of like peasants live because I guess he's a king. Like, what is going on here? It's very confusing.
And he can't swim? He dies instantly? He just falls and goes, ah! And then he's dead.
You see, he died of a broken heart.
It appears that way. This episode just so many issues.
Or he died of fear, or he died of... So, like, in a lot of these, I can see, like, oh, they were going for this, but it didn't work for me. Here, I can't even see what they're going for. Is technology bad? Is it bad to not like technology? Is this a commentary on how the world changes, but you have to adapt, or else it's going to crush you? I don't understand this.
But it's not like he wasn't adapting.
No,
he had all of these things.
I know.
This episode, it doesn't make sense. And I can't even imagine if you're like during the time period going like, oh, good episode.
Well, okay, so this reminds me of that horrible movie that I've never seen, where like all of the electronics come to life.
Maximum Overdrive.
We're all
starring Emilio Estevez, Stephen King's finest.
I just remember a shot where like a kid looks up at like a house, and there's a person hanging out the window with like their headphones around their neck, like it strangled them or something like that. And I had that same thing we were talking about before, where I'm like, wait, if things come to life, that's fine, but like how does something now get like muscles to move certain parts of itself that can't move or whatever? In order for that to happen, it has to be like you're saying.
By and large, though, that movie did like make sense.
Okay.
Like the weed whacker is just on the ground kicking itself around,
just
like,
whacking.
Yeah, it wasn't like floating and coming at people.
Yeah.
And
that makes
the cars
sense, right?
driving themselves don't even make sense because it's like, well, they don't have the ability to turn the wheel.
Right, but I could, that I can like more so get with or something like that. But the idea of like cords wrapping around things and turning into things is this whole.
My issue was the soda machine was shooting soda cans out of it at people, and I'm like, it has no ability to do that. Past the drop of the can, there's no mechanisms in there.
There's no things in there, right? And you could do something where stuff starts growing inside of something, right? Take apart your Walkman and be like, there's like organs in here. There's something happening. They're mutating into like alien. Like, do something.
Well, this wasn't. I think it was a meteor went by and everything got like alien fuckified. Regardless, that movie has some interesting parts, but this episode, nothing compared to that. Movie.
I just think of that one scene and how dumb I thought that was, and this is so like okay. So why did I bring that up? Because like at the time, maybe people were scared. Hey, there's all these new devices in the house. There's like plumbing and stuff. I don't know, like the '60s. How was that for people?
They had plumbing.
There's electricity. I'm scared. I used to just fly kites and wait for lightning, and now I just hit a switch. This is the devil's work, right? So
in your scenario, has everyone been Franklin?
Yeah, I just pictured all the colonists with kites waiting to watch television.
There you go.
I tested well. I didn't have to do any projects in school. No, what I'm saying, like at the time, right, there might have been a theme of like things are rapidly changing and there's new things happening.
No, that's definitely
and we're scared or something. But this didn't do a great job or a good job or a job of like emphasizing that and making it good.
It didn't pick its lane. You know what I mean by that? Like where like it was dancing all over the place. Like either this happened, or this happened.
Yeah.
You can't have all of it. Is it magic? Is it technology? Is he crazy?
Yeah.
And one of those things has to be true.
Exactly. Cautionary tale, just desserts type thing, voodoo curse, monkey's paw. There's several categories that they could have picked, and they just gave us a lump of shit.
All right, guys, so that's our thoughts on this episode. Let us know in the comments below what you think. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.